Hello. So I'm so excited to be launching this group again. This is going to be the fifth time, the fourth time by itself, and the fifth time because there was another group where I interwove the burnout and unpacking bcba trauma group into another one. But this group was my signature group, the first group that I have ever created. And it's the one that has consistently sold out and been such a wonderful transformation to be able to witness for so many people. Almost 100 people have been through this group, and I keep getting messages from people who were either in it in the past or who have completed it recently about how they apply these strategies to make their work environment more workable for them, and how those strategies spill out into being able to make better outcomes for their clients and for their families and for their families and their friends. And it is just an honor to be able to share Applied ACT with more people, because at the same time as we're going to take care of ourselves and we're going to have some profound experiences in having ACT work for us, right? And seeing how that's behavioral, we're also going to get an idea of the theory, right? One thing that Stephen Hayes says a lot is we can't do ACT to people. We have to do ACT with people. And that's the premise for all of my different programs, including this one, where we're going to have an experience in mindfulness. We're going to do it for ourselves in something that truly matters, so that when we go to do ACT with our clients or at work, we're coming from a place of understanding, a place of empathy, a place of witnessing the true challenge of its application. So that way we're less prescriptive with our ABA, which is also ACT, and more collaborative, right? And what's also true is that we can't get super collaborative with people when we're in a place of burnout, because it's just one thing after another, right? We've got too many things on our plates, and we don't necessarily have the capacity or the bandwidth to be able to take time for the human in front of us, because we're irritated that they're taking more time from us. This is what we're going to unpack in this 10-week group. I have it all outlined on this website, and I'd love to walk through what that's going to be like with you. So really quick, I'm going to share my screen. And this is actually some back-end work. So it's still not published. So this is what the whole process kind of looks like. What we're going to be doing is a 10-week applied ACT mentorship small group where we unpack our trauma and our burnout with applied ACT. Okay. We're going to be going from crispy, burnt out to balanced life balance, where we can give from a place of overflow rather than a place of drain and strain, right? We're going to start week 1 with just even starting to imagine what life balance is, starting to dream and starting to notice the things that get in the way of us being able to even explore life balance. Plus, of course, each week there's going to be a supplemental video to speak to ACT theory. Okay, and we start with the Hexaflex model for the first 7 weeks. Week 2 is where we're going to unpack what our BCBA self-identity is and repack what it is we'd like it to be. We're going to specifically go into imposter syndrome and perfectionism, followed by week 4, burnout and the feeling of selfishness in creating life balance. Each of these weeks, we're going to do a group call where we can all talk together about our experiences in these things, right? As a way to witness that, one, it's not just us. A lot of people are experiencing the same thing, normalizing some of it. And 2, being able to start unpacking the thoughts and the feelings that perpetuate this being the option for us. So that way we can start creating different options to be able to work with. We're also going to dive into the shifting views of ABA that contribute to the trauma of being a provider who might not always be wanted. This is a really tough one, as well as parent support and parent training, which is one of the most complained about parts of the job. We're also going to explore job pivots and entrepreneurship, because we've all been told ABA is for everyone, but we don't necessarily get the option in kind of modern working environments to be able to find that. So we're going to talk about that as well. Plus tying all of these things in together as to how this act that we're doing, which we're going to have tangible strategies for each one of these weeks that we're going to practice and that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to encourage you to apply to your regular life, and how that's actually ABA. So we're going to take all of those Hexaflex trainings and use that language embedded throughout and talk about how it ties in together. Then for the last 2 weeks, we have some additional bonus videos that I've made throughout the course of time that weren't part of the original 8-week on specifically journaling strategies and sitting with discomfort. These are two things that have been historically challenging for people. So we've added in a little bit more meat to this course to be able to address that. And additionally, meditation practices, as well as a functional approach to self-care practices. Plus, of course, we're going to add in some supplemental videos around the ACT matrix model. So that way you can talk about the ACT theory from a few different perspectives in the context of something that makes sense, because when it's applied, it really does go the distance. And when it's applied, we can start seeing how theory works. And that takes our level of understanding to completely different places, especially when it's something that matters. And my goal for you is that by the end of this experience, you will be able to have had an experience in ACT that is truly transformative, truly transformational, right? Where you kind of catch the bug, which is what happened to me and has happened to so many different people who've gone through this group, where they get it and they're like, I have to find out more. I have to do more. And it is that reason that I make some of this stuff is, one, when we experience it, not only are we changing ABA because we as providers are able to relate to work differently, but when we catch the ACT bug, we're going to be transforming the way that we do ABA with others. Because we can also come from a place of overflow, and it's going to perpetuate more ACT being normalized into our clinical practices, because you're going to be like, I have to take this to people. It's so wonderful. And I get it now. This is all within the context of a closed Facebook group. Okay, so that way it can be super flexible. You can come into Facebook whenever it works for you. The training videos will live there. They'll be dropped weekly, as well as exercises and prompts to be able to help dig into the training videos more. And you can comment, you can respond, you can do that any time of day. You can watch those videos any time of day, because I know you're already burnt out, right? And so another thing on your plate might be a tall ask. So I want this to be as flexible as possible. Plus, the weekly group calls are recorded. So they are going to be happening on Wednesdays at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. But if you can't make it every week during that time, that's okay. They're recorded. You can watch them back. Also, if you were present and you want to watch them back anyway, it's going to be in that Facebook group for you. Plus, you get the opportunity for a one-to-one call with either me or my co-pilot. Whichever availability works for you. We're going to be able to help you break down these strategies, think about the barriers that you're having, help you create a plan that is going to allow you to start working and make this something that's truly for you, right? So plus, we're also going to have an electronic workbook that kind of organizes those videos, the talking points of the videos, the exercises, so that you could print that out and you could write in it if that helps with your organization, or if you want to come back and visit it later on, and or or if the Facebook group just isn't, the easiest thing for you to navigate as an individual, although it's pretty easy. I use hashtags. So it's just like hashtag week one, anything that goes with week one will show up, so on. I try to make it as accessible as possible. Plus, they all have closed captioning on all of the videos. So that way, if you prefer to read, or that's your way of accessing it, it's there as well in all of the videos. So let's talk about the details here. It's $500 to join for the 10 weeks. If you request it, I can break that up into 2 equal payments. There's a couple ways that you can save money here, is that you can save $100 as an early bird registry if you sign up before the end of the day, Wednesday, 9/28, which is tomorrow. So you're going to have to sign up kind of quickly. It helps me so much when people register early, and I'm doing kind of a speed registration this time to see how that works for me. So we'll see. So save $100 and you just by registering early, and you can DM me to do that. Another way to save is that if you and a friend sign up together, you can each save $100 on your registry, right? Taking it down to $400 unless you stack it with that early bird, and you can each save $200, which is a lot, right? Bringing it down to $300. My goal is to make this as accessible as possible, and that includes with finances, right? So we've got ways to save. We can break it up into 2 equal payments. And there's a lot in here, you guys. There's a lot in here. So you can either DM me with your email, and I can go ahead and send you an invoice, and we can go ahead and get you onboarded to start for this coming Monday, October 3rd. Or you can email me at mindfullymallory@gmail.com with the subject line, I want in, and we can do the same thing. Once you just the DM is on Instagram, by the way. Once you decide to join, what will happen is I'll email you an offer letter with all of the details. You say yes, and you tell me what you want your payment option to be. And then I'll go ahead and send you an invoice. Once that first invoice is filled, or if it's a pay in full, then we'll go ahead and get you onboarded into the Facebook group, as well as any materials that I'm going to send to you in a welcome email, just so that you know what to expect. If you do choose a payment option upon request, then the second invoice will be coming later on as well, just so that you know. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you're excited, please ask me, please tell me, please share this. Like I mentioned, this is absolutely on my heart to share with people. I am so excited about this group, and I want you to be excited about it too. So I can't wait. I'm so grateful that this is something that I even get the opportunity to do, and I can't wait to share it with you. So thank you for listening to this. I hope that it was as informative as you needed, and I will see you on Monday. Bye.